Hi, my name is Craig Sutphin. I'm the department chair for the philosophy department at St. Mary's College High School. Welcome. A little bit about me. First of all, I'm a parent. I have two students that have gone through St. Mary's. One is currently at Cal right now, and I have one that's a junior. And when we were looking at high schools and also junior highs for our kids, we asked basically the same question over and over and over again. What kind of a school and a place is going to allow my kid to actually become well adjusted, a kid to become happy, confident, exercise a level of self-efficacy? How is my kid going to really grow into that kind of space? And I think all parents really want the same thing for their kid, and I'm assuming you probably want that for your kids as well. And that's part of the reasons why we started this philosophy department, because we wanted to zoom back from the educational perspective for a moment and really think hard about what is it that's going to allow students to become better thinkers so that they can make decisions in their lives, solve problems, form true beliefs that can allow them to actually exercise that level of self-efficacy, self-confidence, and happiness. So what we did about 9 or 10 years ago when we changed the curriculum at St. Mary's, we moved away from a semester to a trimester program, which allowed us to take a closer look at the science of rationality. What makes a good thinker? How do you become a good thinker? What are the norms of a good thinking community? What does that look like? And we started combing through the research and realized that a lot of the research indicates that teaching individual subjects is not actually the most effective way to creating good thinkers. One thing you have to do is you have to sort of zoom out and create a broader set of thinking skills, habits, more not so domain specific, but more general type of thinking skills. So we sifted through the research and we kind of combined some of the best practices in cognitive science, some of the best practices in education, philosophy, and built this program that's really intended to actually take a look at carefully the thinking that goes on inside of everybody's own head and how a student can take an initiative, start to control some of that thinking, sort of eliminate some of the cognitive biases, start to look more effectively at the evidence. And essentially what we're trying to do is think about the thinker at the center of the entire equation. There's a metaphor we often use in epistemology and philosophy, which is we're really trying to fine-tune the operating system of the mind, and the more that you can do that, then the more effective the students are in their actual individual disciplines. So we have a 3-year program that starts with students looking carefully at their own cognitive distortions and biases and heuristics and problems in our own thinking so that they can eventually begin to rectify some of those. And then the second year we look closely at what it means to be an evidence-based thinker, how you look at evidence, what good evidence is, what's probability theory, looking at some of the fallacies and the traps of our own thinking. And then the senior year it graduates into a capstone project where students take some initiative to demonstrate some understanding over a complex, ambiguous problem that spans an entire year program. So we have a 3-year program that has to do with isolating the deficits in thinking, looking at some of the ways to overcome those deficits, and then ultimately students get to express some of their own learning by this senior project capstone, which is the final year program at St. Mary's. So what we're really trying to do is create students who can direct their own inquiry, kids that understand their own thinking, they can metacognitively reflect on and make adjustments in their own thinking along the way, so that at the end they have something that is more it's not domain specific, but it's actually a thinking skills that translate into all areas, not just academically, but into the wild, as we say, so that students can solve problems, form true beliefs, and ultimately make decisions that are healthy for themselves and their communities.